So it's a 40-minute race. This is the feature before we jump on into something a little bit more sprinty with the sprint race, but Tarkawarra, who does lead the championship, on top at the moment. And Josh, let me know how the sound levels are. Again, more tweaking done this week, and hopefully you can hear the game and hear me good. It's good to have you with us. Alright, we're about to get this one started as we get the rolling start underway. Here we go, racing, green flag, Tarkawarra takes the field now, up towards the first turn. It's Ferrox and Mikalakis and John Newen. He's in 4th place. This can be a little bit tricky in the first few laps. A lot of the guys have been struggling to hold themselves and compose themselves around here. In practice, they said they've had a bit of trouble, but it looks like everybody in so far has been well behaved, on board with Crash. He's in 12th place. Look at the pace the guys ahead of him have got now. And this is where the chase can begin for some of them. Got to get a good exit out of here. But we know at the front, things are getting really tight. Gaps are happening. This is Dan Rooney. I think John Riviera just got him. And again, you're going to learn the names with me as we get into this series. We've starting to learn some new names out and about along the track itself. In behind that is Zen Razo in the Nissan. He's hoping to get some good points, so we'll give you an update with the points in just a moment. But Ferrox back in the lead, has gotten around Tarkawarra at some point, so he needs to be careful, because if Ferrox can get some good points and he keep consistent like he did the last round, well, he's gonna jump Tarkawarra in the championship points, and he's definitely not going to be wanting that. So he's got to keep a good close eye. But remember, there's a mandatory pit stop coming up. Pit window will open soon. Number 32. I think Matthew Dowse was involved in an accident. Oh, look at that. Something happened to him. This is the replay. Looks like he's just letting the field through there. He might have been readdressing. It looks like number 18, which is Jason Hardigan, was also involved. So, yeah, not sure what happened. This is Jason here. So he's in the Audi, and yeah, you can see he's already got some scrapes on that left-hand side. And we go back to the live action. It's green flag again, and he is chasing down Rogic. And in behind him, Johnson also. Oh, Dowse dives up the inside. Beautiful little move. Oh, and he's going to run wide through there. Onto the grass himself. He's got to be careful. Unfortunately, and I think Hawks made it tonight. I think he started in the pit lane or not, but he's way down off the order. He hasn't been able to put in much practice, unfortunately. He's been moving house. Back up to the front, though, it is Cameron Ferrox, and hopefully all is good. Can't hear the cars? Alright. Oh, what's going on there? Mikalakis! He's off! Let's have a look. Oh, he's just tagged the sand. And that sent him through. Oh, it's a big moment. Big moment for Mikalakis. He's recovered, but he's fallen through the order. I'm not sure where he's come out. As the timing board updates, looks like he's dropped to about 9th place. In behind Crash, 12th, 13th. Oh, he's all the way down. 14th place. That was a big moment, and he's got to have to just calm down now and try and recuperate that. But that's going to be playing massive mental games on him when he comes back around for the next lap. Definitely curbed it. Again, up the inside. Sweet little move from Mikalakis, but he's got some damage he'll be struggling to deal with. Oh, he's gone off again. Run wide. That is so easy to do there. And he's not. That would probably be down to the fact that he's got a damaged car to contend with now. But hopefully, all is alright for Mikolakis. Up the front though, this is the battle for the lead. And you can see Tarkawarra has not let Ferrox out of his sights. And he will be primed and ready. And interestingly, it's going to be a call of strategy at some point. Not sure why the game is so quiet, but you're right. It is very, very quiet. Not sure why the game is so quiet, but you're right. It is very, very quiet. Alrighty. Ferrox. Look at this consistency that he's able to bring to the table. And Tarkawarra chasing is just having a rough time of it. We go back down to 5th place. This is John Rivera. He is leading a train of 3, including himself. That is Zen Razo giving chase. Yago's there. Looks like James Meok might also be tagging onto the back soon enough. So Rivera, he's going to be under the pump. He'll be aware of that, but if he is saving some tyres to try and extend his stint before the mandatory pit stop, that could be an option. So keep an eye on what these guys are doing. But at the moment, track position is very vital. You make one mistake, the field is just going to eat you up, and they're just going to fly on by, as we've seen a few guys already. And again, it's going to be a massive task for them to recuperate any losses that might come out of it. Yago, though, was part of the FNL1 team, along with Zen, who's ahead of him, who got 3rd in their first Le Mans for FNL1 eSports. So Yago is definitely one to keep a lookout on if he can get the practice time in. Cutting a lot of the curbing. Got some dust up on the outside there, so it looks like some guys are just starting to try and squeeze a little bit more out of their cars at this stage. Oh, look at that. Zen was so lucky. Look, to be honest, with ACC on PS5, the developers themselves don't even know if it's going to work or be able to take advantage of the new hardware. Oh, so close! He tags in! Yago tried to pull up the Boatley in time, and he just got the back of his Nissan. I think he'll get away with it, but he's really, really ruined Zen's run on Rivera, because all that rhythm and momentum he gained just gone, just like that. Small mistake though, obviously not intentional, but these things happen. So Yago now has to reset, and it's James Meok in that Porsche who is definitely breathing down his neck and giving him a hard time. Oh no, Yago again. Runs wide. Yago, I don't know what's going on. Track temperature, let's have a look. Track's 33 degrees. It's really quite warm. So I think there might be some grip issues starting to creep on in. Cameron Ferrox is now having to defend because Tarkawarra has arrived on scene, and John Newen is that car in 3rd place. He's only back about 3 seconds. So here we go. This is the battle for 1st place. It's about to get heated up. We're 10 minutes into the first of this feature race tonight. Remember, we've got a sprint race straight after. Reverse grid as well. Now, we were talking about ACC on PS5. Yeah, look, like I said, the developers, Kunos, don't know themselves if it'll be able to use the advanced hardware of the PS5 to, you know, increase frame rate, graphics, all that stuff. Look, they're working on private lobbies now. It took them 9 months to implement them into AC, Assetto Corsa, when it first came to the console. I don't think it's going to take 9 months, but history shows it's not going to be a quick process. So for all of those that are bored on the console wanting private lobbies, there we go, pit window is open, 19 minutes starts counting, 20 minutes starts counting down now, and everybody will have to make a mandatory pit stop. So this is now a time for Ferrox and Tarkawarra to think strategy. Like I was saying, yeah, I reckon it's going to take at least 3 to 6 months before we see private lobbies in the console version. And what's the point? By the time the PS5 will be out, is it capable on the PS5? Well, they were in before the cutoff where PS5 said it needs to, you know, work on both consoles. So there's so many unknowns that I don't even know if ACC in its current state will work on the PS5. So I feel like it was a rushed job, a cash grab from 505 or Digital Brothers, who own both the companies. I don't feel like this was a decision Kunos would have made at all, but I feel like there was some pressure from either 505 or Digital Brothers, which is the, you know, parent company of both of those, both the publisher and the developer. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I did a podcast about this topic, just recorded it, so it'll be coming out this week. So keep your ears to that. It's a little bit emotional for me. I get a little bit angry at people. I get a little bit heated, but it's only because I want the console community to, you know, not get the raw deal. And you guys seem to get the raw deal more often than not. And at the same time, there's too many people that accept it as it's okay, and it's not. So yeah, new podcast, renamed and everything. It's called the Simracing Podcast on Demo One Garage. It's renamed from Talking eSports, so that should be out this week. But look at this action. It's not much behind, but it's up the front that Tarkawarra has his eyes set. It's that yellow Audi. Ferrox was saying through the week that he was really struggling to get this thing set up and working, but looks like he's got some practice in. Bit of a wiggle from Tarkawarra. And again, he's using so much of the road. He's running onto that grass more often than not, so he's just inches away from a small mistake, but it's the same situation for Ferrox too. Yeah, Josh, we don't know if it'll be on the backwards compatibility list, and who knows? Who absolutely knows? It's kind of silly, if you ask me. So we're 27 minutes in. It's been fairly clean. There's only been, I think there was an accident just a few laps ago between number 88 and 11. So Philip Booth might have been in one, and number 11 is Crash. So he's fallen to 13th. Hawks looks like he's making his way through the field now. He has been moving house this week, so he hasn't been able to practice as much as he'd probably like to. But he's not right at the back of the grid now, which is good to see. That's Mickey Rogic in behind. Sorry, that's Mickey Rogic right there. In 16th. I think some of these guys might be getting lapped. Hopefully my broadcasting app... Oh no, Rogic, that's not what you want to do. Out wide. And that was Rivera getting around him. Alrighty, well, we're getting back to the racing, and Ferrox is into the pit lane. Alrighty, let's see what kind of time Tarkawarra can put down. Track's still 33 degrees at the moment. It is clear as well. So there's going to be some people promoted through the pits now. Tarkawarra needs a good lap now. Is he going to come in straight away, or is he going to extend his stint here and hope to have some grip left in the tyres in the last stages of the race? So Tarkawarra is in about he's 5 minutes into the pit window, so in the first quarter. So he's going to have a very long second stint. Will Ferrox? Tarkawarra, will he immediately reply, or will it be a few laps to go? This is James Mioch, who is now ahead of Yayo. And the chase is on. His last lap, 1:25. The Porsche has great straight line speed here. And the Bentley just closing in slightly into the fast left-hander. Oh, Yayo, I thought he got the squiggles. Might have been just an offline that he's chosen to do then. Here we go. Look how much curb he takes there. So this one's really starting to heat up between Yayo and James. This is going to be a good fight. And that is Zen ahead of them. So yeah, we got GTC2 tomorrow. Where are we tomorrow, Josh, for the racing? I've forgotten the track that we're at next for the SFR GT Challenge. Spa, awesome. Spa's going to be a it's going to be a fun time, I think. Flashing lights. Mioch though, he's just holding it well. Oh no, big slide, big slide. And that is how you undo all your hard work, just like that. Oh, what's going on here? Oh no, he's going to tag the wall. Very lucky to hold it. Oh, he's come back on the track. He's caused some issues. That was Mikalakis. Oh, so lucky. Mioch there with a brain fade and a half. Probably some grip issues as well when he rejoined. Let's go back and watch where it all started from. So, this is the replay. Everything looked okay at this stage. Now, how did he deal with this? He was chasing Zen ahead of him. Got the back end out, got the slides on. And then sort of still fought with Yayo. The fight continued. The back end went again. He got the big tank slapper. He's just recovered. And just as he went to rejoin, almost caused another issue, an accident, but driver took defensive maneuvers and he got around it. But it was a close call there from James. And yeah, wow, big moment for him. So back to the live action. He's this is Tarkawarra in the lead. He's still yet to take the pit stop. Philip Booth, he's got some competition. Looks to be hard again in behind him. God, their cars sound great, don't they? Look at this around the outside. Well, it's easy because Booth is in. Jason Hardigan will continue on with his lap now. This is Aussie in behind for FNL1 eSports. So some of the guys now taking some pit stops. Scotty Hawks. Looks like he's got some competition. That is Yago now in behind Hawksy. So Yago, oh, he's gone very wide. Again, we see a lot of that. He's very lucky to control it through there, but the Boatley on Boatley, and it looks like Yago was the victor. So that was an easy one for Yago. Hawks, though, on the edge of grip, on the just a very scary ride on the grass, and he's inside the pit lane as well. This is Edward Foster. He's down in 18th. His last was a 127. His best a 1266. So some of these guys coming up through the ranks as well. It's good to see.
We are at the halfway mark. Still a long way to go.
So halfway, and we're halfway through the pit window. So anyone who's yet to take a stop needs to take a stop. Tarkawarra is in the pits. Zenrazo has gone through. We're waiting for Ferrox to come on by. So this is going to be tight. Will the undercut work? Or will Tarkawarra, did he gain time for that long stint? He made it to the halfway point. Hardigan's into the pit lane as well. This is Tarkawarra. He's racing for the lead now against Cameron Ferrox, who is quickly approaching the pit entry. Here we go. Here we go. This is going to be extremely tight. He's come out behind Hawks. That's Matthew Doust. And look at the gap Tarkawarra has managed to get himself. I think Ferrox got caught up in far too much traffic, and he's been put on the back foot. So the race for the lead has really heated up, and you can see Ferrox is still struggling to get through some of these cars. That's Crash ahead of him, and he's got a huge mountain to climb at this stage. Crash goes wide, and Ferrox finally gets through, and now he's got a bit of back markers to get through. Blue flags will help him there, but he's lost a lot of time, and again a bit wide on the exit. Welcome V8 Murphy. He definitely did come out ahead. Look, some of these guys are struggling with rear grip, aren't they? Track temp stayed 33. It is cloudy at 26 degrees air temperature. So it looks like the track's sort of at a phase now where it's still sort of rubbering in, and there's not a lot of grip if you just get your temperatures a little bit too hot. So yeah, these guys have got to be careful. Look at this. This is Ferrox, one of the most consistent drivers in the league, and he is struggling himself too. So everybody out there is having a hard time of it. And the conditions are really favouring anybody that likes it wild and loose, because, wow, looks like even the fastest guys are having some issues. Back to Dan Rooney. He gets through some traffic. Matthew Doust is amongst some. He's just ahead of Ferrox now. So I don't think Doust is in the pit lane, but is he going to hold up Ferrox for a long time or not? Again, Ferrox wide. Been seeing him a lot of that now. He's trying to get his tyres up to temp, and he's going to be racing him now side by side. Too wide. Douse though up the inside, and he gives him the spot. So Ferrox finally gets through. Going to be an interesting end to this first race. Don't forget, we've got the sprint race coming up. And there is Scotty Hawks now up beside Doust. Back to Tarkawarra now. He's in second place. Aussie is at the lead of the race, but he's yet to take to the pits. So it is up to Tarkawarra now to score some good timings. Now's a good time to have a look at the table. So 5 minutes to go in the pit window. Aussie leads in the 991 GT3, but he has to take a pit. We're 16 laps in. It'll be Tarkawarra. Ferrox, Doust, I think, needs to take a pit as well. And then it's John Newen in the Vantage, Dan Rooney, Zen Razo, Yayo, Rivera, and James there in the top 10. And things are looking nice and spicy. Kelly's down a lot of laps, down 4. Rogic is down 2, so it looks like they've had some accidents and some huge damage they've had to repair early on, which we didn't quite see. Alrighty. Well, it's up to Tarkawarra now to take the win here. 15 minutes left. And he's going to have much fresher tyres than his closest competitor, Ferrox, when we get to near the ending of this one. So Rivera, he's chasing Yayo and Zen, who are just ahead of him by about a second. That is James Meok chasing Rivera now. So we got some duos and some battles which are about to start forming in these last 15 minutes. So keep your eyes peeled for some incredible GT3 action here for FNL1 eSports. I can tell you what, these guys never disappoint. It's been some pretty good racing so far, and we're about to see how this one finishes up. Oh, Sean, what's cracking? Ferrox looked like he was struggling well before halfway. It will be interesting to see how his tyres are with 5 minutes to go. I don't know if Ferrox is going to make it, to be honest. It just looks like a rough move for him, but he's going to give it a crack. Rivera getting through some back markers. We're just waiting for James to catch him up. I wonder if this situation will, close the gap, so to speak. It might have done just a little bit of that for James. Let's see what he can do through this last third sector of the track. He's chasing. Just looks like Rivera's ahead by just enough at the moment. And you can see Meok closes on just a little bit too late, getting a little bit too desperate at this stage. And he needs to look after his tyres a little bit. Aussie, that is Jason Hardigan in behind, and look at the pace the Audi's got. The little Audi can go, can't it? Aussie will have to think defensively now, because I think this one is really primed for some exciting overtakes. There's going to be probably some desperate defending here. Aussie just outside the top 10, and he'll be looking to improve that, but with Hardigan on his tail, it won't be the case, because I think this guy's going to get him. Look at this. Look at the exit. It was on the power a lot quicker too. Somebody's hit one of the foam advertising boards. Hardigan side by side with Aussie. Oh, too wide. And he keeps it on track, and the Audi's ahead. Hardigan, fantastic effort. He did everything possible that he could. He got on the power sooner, and Aussie was just left standing. And that is how you do it in the GT3 series. It's good to see. Edward Foster down in 18th. He's also... Oh, we got someone off. Philip Booth also just ahead. This is Brendan Johnson just ahead of them. Blue flag's out and waving, so people are getting lapped at this stage with 10 minutes to go. Oh, big wide one for Johnson. I've seen a lot of people take excursions there. He couldn't quite get the car pulled up in time. He's got the car back on track, but wow, lots of dirty tyres now he's got to deal with. So, again, not ideal. Big moment for him. And Johnson, well, that's what dirty tyres do, and that has put him at a real back end. Look at this, big smash into the wall. And, well, what can you say? That's what happens when you're trying your hardest. Sometimes you can just overdrive the car just a little bit. It was Chinner that we saw off down here before. He's left his mark in the sandpit. So Aaron Chinner will keep pushing forward in 17th. Ferrox has fallen back to 4th. He was up to 2nd, but he's now back down to 2nd and 3rd. So there's been some late drama at the front of the race. Ferrox fallen to 4th. Newen and Rooney now 2nd and 3rd. I didn't see what happened, but yeah, I think... yeah, Ferrox was involved in something. Let's see if we can't see it. Oh, it was all before here. So, Ferrox, wow. He was involved in an accident. Or at least the game says he was. And that was 2nd and 3rd that he's fighting there. So, those... oh, and just tagged him. Oh, it's not like Ferrox to do that. Looks like the pressure's starting to get to him in this late stage. He has been struggling on the tyres. And it was too wide at one point. Oh, big moment. Did he hold on? Ferrox did hold on. There was a lot happening between these two. And John Newen, he did well to hold his own. I think defending, though, it slowed him down and let Dan Rooney sort of build the buffer that he has at the moment. Back on board with Cameron Ferrox, and he's side by side now with John Newen, so he hasn't left his side. This one's really heating up. The pressure cooker now. It's almost ready. But it looks like tyres. Ferrox is down. Oh, we've had two off. Big moment for John Newen and Ferrox. This is the replay. Look how close and hard these two guys are racing. Nothing in it at all. And it's like a game. Again, it's just a game of inches. You push it too far one side, and that happens. You run out of road. Ferrox did too. He held on to it just. And these two guys are continuing on. So back to live photos. John Newen's now down in 4th place, chasing Ferrox in 3rd. Ferrox, though, we know we're struggling on the tyre, so this one is not over yet. This has been a little bit chaotic today for some of the drivers. They're just going to have to continue to chase each other. It's a game of cat and mouse now between Ferrox and Newen. There is only 6.5 minutes left. They've both equally been making mistakes in this last phase. So who can make the least mistakes is going to come out ahead here. Ferrox, his last was a 1.26. His best a 1.24. 1.252 that lap. John Newen, a 1.257. His best is also a 1.244. So these guys are so equally matched. And again, Ferrox just, again, the tyres slipping him up. And there's just inches in this race between these two. This is awesome stuff. And really, the battle for third is on. John Newen is 7th overall in this championship. He's got 47 points to his name. Ferrox has 109 and second, who is just behind Tarkawarra with 115, which is those 6 points difference. So if Newen can get ahead of Ferrox, he can really upset Ferrox's chances of a late steal of the championship. Because Tarkawarra, he's leading. Number 413, he does have the lead of this race. Ferrox is just inside the podium, but for how long? Will he maintain that for the next 5 minutes? Because that's all that is left. He's gone to the inside and then cuts it back out to open the corner up. Here we go. Newen sees a moment, just shoves a nose in there, and he wants to tell Ferrox that he's here to play, and he does mean business, because that podium spot has his name on it. A little bit of understeer, didn't quite hit the apex there. Ferrox did a good job, got on the power sooner, and you can see the effect that has at the end of this straight. It's a huge advantage because the gap's grown to 7/10. Newen just needs to keep patient. Just doesn't need to be overdriving. Otherwise he'll lose far too much time and Ferrox will become just a blip on the radar. So, welcome everybody. Welcome to round number 5 of the FNL1 GT3 Pro Series here, every second week on Sunday nights. And we've got a very tasty battle for third place just unfolding at the end of the first feature. And don't forget, immediately after we will have the sprint race. So hopefully you're all looking forward to that. It's good to have you guys in chat, watching along. So this is on Assetto Corsa Competizione on PC. And John Newen. Oh, look at this. He's going to get side on side with Ferrox. He's done the job, I think. And Ferrox has been pushed to 4th place. Newen has found a second wind. And look at again. That's the difference you get when you get on the power before your opposition. You just build this huge gap that then they have to try and work on reeling you in. But if you can keep yourself composed and together... Oh, and Ferrox again. Those tyres. Really not having a good time with those tyres, is he? Look at all the skid marks and all the rubber that's been laid down there. Lots of people going off today. People have just been struggling to adapt to these temperatures, I think. Track has stayed at 33 degrees Celsius. And Ferrox has had enough. Oh, he's coming in. Interesting call. So, second in the championship, and he's struggling far too much with those tyres. So, that's going to give Zen 4th place. Where will Ferrox come out? That's a big call from him. There's only a minute and a half to go, but he thinks it's beneficial to come in. John Riviera here, 8th place. There's Philip Booth in behind, so we got some racing happening here too. That's James Meock ahead of them. This one is going to get tasty in the last final minute as well. So, everybody is looking to improve their positions as we get closer and closer to the last few final laps. This is 6th, 7th and 8th right now. And I told you, don't take your eyes off this one because it's so unpredictable. And the racing is top class. Let's see what they can do right now. James Meock, though, just needs to keep a calm head on those shoulders.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
Next race is a sprint race, so there's no strategy needed. But it's a 20-minute race, so Ferrox should be okay with tyre life. Oh, look at that from James. We're on board with Rivera. He's in 7th place, trying to steal 6th. Ferrox has fallen to 9th, so he's actually come out just behind this little battle pack. Miok, Rivera and Booth now, the trio that will give us a little bit of entertainment into this last lap. We've hit 0. Here we go. Not sure if, because they crossed the line when they did, they've got the checkered flag, but it doesn't look like they've stopped racing. Rivera is so tight to the back of James Miok's Porsche. Inside the exhaust almost, up in the gearbox. He's looking for any small moment he can take. This one's going to be super tense when he gets there. And in behind him as well. So the leader takes the win. Tarkawarra wins. But it's Rivera now. It's reversed on him because Philip Booth has found a second wind himself. And there's not a huge chance of overtaking here, but there is still time. The race has hit 0. James Miok, the Porsche ahead of them. He should be able to get away from it now. He just needs to be consistent and clean. Oh, he didn't get the apex. That's going to give Rivera the run. Oh, mighty, it does. The McLaren now side by side with the Porsche. Philip Booth wants to get in on the action. Can Rivera hold it around the outside? He's done it on the final corner. Small error, and he's taken 6th place away from James Miok. What a finish there for 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then it'll be Ferrox just ahead of Mikolakis in 9th. And Mikolakis finishes the top 10. What a fantastic finish all the way through the field. Matthew Doust, he's had an issue himself. Oh, he got a little bit slow. What happened there? He's pulled up for some reason. Oh, the car sliding on him. Crashed, didn't know where to go, did he? So this is Doust and Crash. Well, they've crossed the line, so that's what that was about. But what a finish to the first race, guys. Hope you'd enjoyed it. We'll try to get you some highlights in a moment. But we do have the sprint race coming up. It's a reverse grid race, so they've got to set that up. It'll take just a few minutes.
Green light. Go, go, go.
But wow, that is what we're here to watch, and they definitely delivered at the end there. I'm sure in the sprint race they'll do the same thing. Alrighty. So they're setting up they're setting it up. So we'll have a short intermission. And we'll be starting the sprint race in just a moment. let's watch some highlights from that first race. This was the race start, and it was nice and clean from most people, which was good. See, not many incidences, lots of people giving each other just plenty of room, which was good to see. But you can see just how tight it is. Sorry to interrupt. Let's push the talk room. When you restart the server, can you let me know, because I can't see it. Righty, overtake. Edward Foster, Philip Booth. Some of the action we didn't quite get to see. It's pretty much the only spot on this track where you can do that. So a good one there from Foster. Philip Booth in that Vantage. Well, he had Aussie to deal with as well, didn't he? But he was in a good fight at the end. This is Yayo and Meok, James Meok. This is on lap 3. Look at that. Big wide one from James Meok. And Yayo goes through. Thank you very much. Can you guys let me... Can you let me know when you've reset the server? Oh, just let me know when the countdown starts for the race. Alrighty. Lap 5. Mikalakis on Peter Kelly. Sorry guys, I'm just starting to learn all this stuff now, so just getting the protocols in place, and by the time we get to the next season, this will be smooth. You won't be hearing me talk in the background. But Mikalakis was wearing damage very early on, wasn't he? Alright, another overtake. James Meok and Matty Yayo in that Continental. These guys were relentless on each other, weren't they? This was on lap 6. Oh, he went wide. Yayo goes extremely wide. And that is how he do it. It was almost deja vu of what the first incident between these two happened. Amazing stuff. So these are the highlights at the moment, guys, of the sprint race. Sorry, the feature race. Philip Booth and Crash. Love how the car bottoms out. Sparks fly. Oh, he goes to turn on the apex. Crash did not see that one coming, and Boothie takes the spot. Rivera and Rogic now, both in the McLaren 720S. We got another one with Yayo and James Meok. These guys have, look at these guys have been just battering each other now right now. Oh, look at that big slide, big slide, and Yayo takes the spot back again. These guys, incredible racing between these two, but mistakes, lots of mistakes. Oh, and that's the one we saw as well, where he went wide. Oh, Oh, and Yago makes the same mistake, but this time there was no one there to take the spot away from him. Yago extremely lucky. Ferrox, this is when he was in traffic. Crash. Did run wide. But we watched this one live, and yeah, Ferrox got his way through the field then. He was on his way back up to the front. Another one with Ferrox, Matthew Doust, just ahead of him in that Nissan, the white Nissan. Blue flags were out. Ferrox didn't have to work too hard on this one. Ferrox did have to work, but Doust didn't have to give that position back. Some decent highlights here in this first race. And this is Hardigan and Aussie. Aussie runs extremely wide. Hardigan took all the track. And this is when they were side by side with each other. Almost too wide through this next right-hander. And it was a beautiful move. Alrighty. We'll be bringing up the sprint race in just a moment. Alrighty, welcome back. It's a wet sprint race. Reverse grid too, don't forget. So Peter Kelly's going to take the field from the front. And you can see the rain is pelting down here at Brands Hatch. For wets, intermediates, I don't know what they've all picked, but this one is going to be very exciting. Rain lights. Let's see how much spray there is when we get there. Just waiting now for the start of the rolling. Here we go. Things are about to get very tense, very slippery too indeed. Raikkonen is a god welcome. It was a battle to death for 6th spot, you're not wrong. Now, I don't know what kind of race this one's going to be. There's a lot happening. It's a big field. It's a small track and it's wet. Ferrox starts down there in 12th. Here we go. Up and racing. Ferrox gets a good start, but he's caught in behind Hardigan. Oh, that's James Meok getting swamped by Rivera. Oh, Mikalakis. Something's happened to him. He caught up on the inside, but up the front, you can see Kelly getting away. Chinner gets a good move up the inside. Crash is going around the outside of all the cars. Ferrox has got a decent start. He's already moving his way forward. Oh, Aussie and Crash. They had a big coming together. And Aussie's gone way off into the paddock and he's fallen all the way behind. This is Edward Foster now. You can see Matthew Douse just trying to make his way forward. It was a bit of a chaotic start. Matthew Douse ducks to the inside. Oh, he's almost been squeezed. Squeezed off track, but he's kept it and held it together. Ferrox is desperate to get some points after the last race. This wet, how does he... Oh, big moment with Philip Booth. How did they stay on track? They've come together and touched. Philip Booth Riviera just slots in behind. Hardigan has to let them go. Zen Razo also gets swamped by the cars coming together. But we've had a little bit of contact. Mikalakis again. There's Yayo. Oh, these guys are struggling right now. Look at it. It is so tight. This is awesome pack racing here in the wet at Brands Hatch. We ain't seen nothing like this before. That is Peter Kelly we saw in the pit lane. Coming up to the first turn now. Oh, look at these guys. Oh, big moment with Yayo again. Oh, Mikalakis. Almost the same thing that happened to him last time. He's gone way off into the grass. Yayo recovered. So did James Meok. Oh, again, these guys just bumping wheels. Oh, we've got somebody around. It was Edward Foster, was it? Look at that. Look at Rivera. Just squeeze it up the middle. That you can't teach. Eye of the Needle racing from Rivera. And the pack now forms into a line. And everybody starts to settle down a few laps in. But it has been a very chaotic start. And you can see Zen just struggling to keep Scotty Hawks at bay. So it's... But there's going to be a lot of incidences to go back and have a look in this sprint race. Oh, he's gone. Rogic in the 720. I don't know if he picked anyone up on the way through. But he gets back up to racing speed. Aussie now finds himself in 13th. There's Yayo going off again. Oh, these guys just aren't adapting at all. I don't know if the rain's getting a little bit heavier now. It looks okay. We've lost Crash and Kelly, I think. Yago, though, he is just behind Tarkawarra, leading the championship. John Newen does have the championship leader on his tail now. So this one is going to be one to keep an eye on as well. Jackson Tarkawarra just needs to keep it clean. See, it's just a little bit of rain. It looks a little bit heavier on the external cameras, but there's no spray, there's no wet line. But it's just probably just greasing things up enough that it's causing some issues for some of them. Zen Razo defending. That's the car we can see ahead of John Newen. And Jackson Tarkawarra just playing the patient game at the moment. 15 minutes to go. Good defensive move from Newen ahead of him. Riken, it might be rainy, but it has definitely spiced it up, so to speak. Yayo is just out of reach at the moment. John Newen just hoping to reach around Zen here. This is going to be the battle of straight line speed now. Nissan versus the Aston Martin. I think Zen was able to get the power down quicker. And as Zen just takes his formation position and gets it back. Oh, and Zen. Look at this. This is going to be a tight squeeze. Just keeps it on track. Great racing. Great racing. Zen left, right. Nguyen, left, right. Squeeze him on the apex. Pushes him wide. He's going to have a good run at the first turn now. I think Zen's lost the spot, at least for this turn. But this group of 4 really putting on a great show for us tonight. And this is for 7th place. Zen goes through! And he's gone. It didn't take much. Have a look. Got the back end out. Yayo just happened to just clip him. And he's helped him on his way. And that looks like he's recovered. But he's fallen a long way down the order. Unlucky for Zen. That was really heating up to be a good battle. Hardigan now ahead of John Nguyen. Zen's gone now. So things will open up for some of these drivers. And Hardigan, though, will have Nguyen to contend with in probably a few corners' time. You can see Nguyen's got the pace. So unlucky for Zen there, Raikkonen. He was looking really good, wasn't he? Hardigan, though, seems to be just have the measure of his opponent at the moment. And Chinner will be form part of this pack soon enough. Oh, if Chinner doesn't make an error, he does. Chinner come down the corner, back end gets less grip, hits the curb. Oh, and he's gone through. He's got to be careful. There's some traffic coming. So Chinner gets back on track. I think he's down to 12th now. Hardigan, though, under the pump. And Nguyen wants to test him out. See what kind of quality assurance he can get. Hardigan's doing a great job of holding him off. In this sprint race, remember, there's no need for strategy. But the wet racing did change things, so I don't know. Track temp, it's only 10% wet with 10% rain. Track temp's at 28 degrees, so they should be able to realistically stay on slicks at the moment. But yeah, I don't know what they've picked. And if anyone has picked the wet tyres, I think they're going to be in a little bit of strife if the rain doesn't let up or doesn't get any heavier, because it's not really that heavy at the moment, is it? There's no wet line, there's no spray, no rooster tails coming out from the back of the cars. And yeah, with the track temp at 28 degrees, it's got a bit of heat in it, and I'd imagine it's got a bit of grip in it too. Johnson's in. Rogic is in the pits. There's a few guys in. I wish I knew how to get if it would let me know.
We are halfway through. Keep pushing.
What tyres they decided to choose? What compound? Now this is Rivera and Booth. This is for the podium spot. We've seen Rivera last race have an absolutely turbo run on the last lap, and Philip Booth wants to wreck all that hard work and take away a potential podium. We're in the final 9 minutes. Matthew doused. Ferrox leads though, so Ferrox seems to be having a much better time of it in this wet race. Tarkawarra is there in 7th. Might chuck it up the inside. Not quite ready for that just yet. He is very close to the McLaren driver. Booth, though, has got full control. Oh, as I say, he's got control. That curbing sent the car off Have a look at this. Hits the curb. Oh, just loses too much grip. So if you're on those slicks and you do get off the black stuff, then yeah, you're in for a hard time. So they can't explore too many of the track limits because you just saw what could happen. Rain's still 10%, and it's still only at 10% wet. So yeah, again, it doesn't. The rain looks heavy here. Ferrox getting through some lap traffic. Hardigan still defending John New, and this is a great show of perseverance from Hardigan in the Audi. His last lap was a 1:27, so they're not too far off the slower times in the dry race, which is a real testament to the guy's ability around here, and probably the fact that the track isn't that wet. Hardigan open up the corner. He did give Newen sort of an opportunity to squeeze a nose in there, but he wasn't confident enough to take it. So at the moment, Newen still chases him. Well, you're right, Josh. There was no grip when it was dry. There seems to be more grip in the wet. I don't know how that works. But it seems to be what's happened here. Hardigan, thank you Timo Colburn for liking the stream. And thank you everybody that has supported us tonight as well. Don't forget we've got the SFR GT Challenge GTC 2 at Spa tomorrow morning on GT Sport. We cover all the racing disciplines here on Demo 1. So welcome along. And if you are enjoying the action tonight, don't forget to hit the like button if you're on YouTube. The like on Facebook, Twitch. Just thanks for popping on. And if you haven't followed us, don't forget to do that as well. Thank you, Byron, for liking. So Hardigan right now is actually starting to put it to Philip Booth ahead of him. So 2 becomes 3. And Philip Booth, we've seen mistakes. We can see what happens when mistakes creep in. Positions get lost. This is looking out behind Booth. He's in the Aston Martin now, and things are really starting to get a bit more aggressive. You can see it in the cars. Oh, he's gone! Oh, big moment for him. Just had no control at all once he just tagged that curb. And I think that's it for Hardigan. He's, been towed to the pits, so unfortunately he's out of this race. That was so unfortunate for him. This is Tarkawarra in 6th. So John Newen now. His next battle's with Philip Booth. Is he going to try something here? The apex comes. Booth, he takes a lot of the apex away. Would have cut the nose off, and he's run wide because of it. Let's have a look. This is the replay. Yeah, just completely ruined the entry and the exit of that corner. A new one takes it from him. There you can see the drying line actually starting to appear on track. The helicam really shows off that wet and dry line a lot better. So you see that darker black stuff would be the wetter part of the track, and that dry grey area would be the racing line, the drier part of the track at the moment. There's been a few skids. Oh no! That was Rivera. Sorry, not Rivera. This is Rivera trying to take second place away from Matthew Doust. So there's battles and duos happening all through the field, and this is what I love about this series. Excuse me, but this is what I love about the series. So Rivera now. What's he got left in the toolbox? Matthew Doust doing a good job in second. So Doust. just able to pull a bit of gap away from Rivera there. Not what he wants to see at all. This is John Newen. This is Aussie. So Aussie's managed to make a bit of time up here. John had a bit of a slow lap last lap, 128. This is Aussie chasing Newen. It's 133 from Aussie. His best has been a 127. It's jumped to John Newen. His was a 146, so he had a bit of an off somewhere. That is why Aussie's caught him up, but I think Newen's a little bit faster. So, oh no, Aussie touches that curb too. We've seen a lot of people venture out there and make the small error. So Newen can get on with the job now. 2.5 minutes left in this race. Matthew Doust has managed to build himself a buffer zone between him and third. Cameron Ferrox leads quite considerably, mind you. 3.54 seconds ahead of Matthew Doust here. John Newen. Will he shake Doc Aussie? Or is Aussie just going to wind up the wick just in the final 2 minutes and really start to pressurise Newen towards the end of the race? See if he can't force an error. Aussie, though, will be happy to be inside the top 10. We've lost Peter Kelly, Rogic, and Crash. So the wet race has caused a few people to crash out early. And Hardigan, don't forget, had that big off. Zen also had a bit of an accident himself. He's down there in unlucky 13th. Yago gets through, down in 8th. So, Newen just has a 1 second lead on this man, Doc Aussie. 129 last lap, so things are starting to slow down as their tyres wear. Let's have a look at Newen's lap. 129.2, so they're pretty much equal at the moment, which is interesting to see. Now, Matthew Doust, oh, Rivera! He's gone off! How did he do that? He was chasing Doust. Oh, he didn't get the turn in, understeered. It wasn't too bad, but he's going to lose a bit of time out of it.
Final lap now.
So we're on the final lap. This is it. Ferrox leads. He's coming into some lap traffic. That's not going to worry him too much. Matthew Doust has held it together for second. And it'll be good to see him take a podium finish. And John Rivera just needs to hold it together now for the final 30 seconds of this last lap. Tarkawarra, he's pushed all the way up to 4th, so it's not going to really change much in the championship. It'll be interesting to see the points afterwards, though. Keep an eye on the Demo on Facebook and Twitter. This is Philip Booth. He's got 5th place. John Newen and Aussie. This is where is the unknown. Aussie's in a good spot to get the position. He just needs to try and force John Newen into an error. Whether or not he can do that, he's running out of time. .128 last lap from Aussie. He's chasing Newen on the last lap of this race. It's been a wet one, but it's been exciting. It's caused some unknowns. It's caused some chaotic events that have entertained us. But right now our eyes are set on these two. This is the battle for 6th. Newen, he's held it well so far. But we've seen crazier things happen. Aussie, though, just staying with him for now. So, Ferrox wins in the sprint. Aussie is close. Can he do something now? No mistake from Newen. that was probably his last chance at something happening. Nguyen, he's not going to make any errors. He's just calmly getting through the corners now. Aussie has accepted the fate. 7th place for him, 6th for John Nguyen. Great little race between these two. Congratulations to Ferrox, by the way, for winning. Douse got 2nd place, and John Riviera finishes the podium. But that has been a fantastic sprint race and a fantastic Sunday evening here with the FNL1 boys. I hope you've enjoyed it. And yeah, thanks to all the new likes, new subscribers and everything. You guys are absolutely awesome. So don't forget, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be back with more. And keep your eye out on that. This was the penultimate round, and next week is the final. So there's the checkered flag as it flies. Everybody gets through. But I've had a lot of fun with this one. Don't forget, I'll put up the event for tomorrow as we go to Spa for the SFR GT Challenge. And then on Thursday, F2. Friday, F is the Formula 1. And it's the final round for those as well. So, and then we'll be off to do Formula 1 2020 in just a couple of weeks' time. But thanks again. If you liked what you saw, don't forget the like button. And thanks to all the new followers and sharers and everyone out there. You guys are legends. Like I said, that'll end this one. Don't forget, through the week. Thank you, Johnny, for following. Don't forget, through the week, guys, the FNL1 server is public. So if you want to, on ACC, you want to jump in and run around or do a few races yourself, you're more than welcome to use the server through the week. If you want to join, don't forget to join the Discord, link in the description, or it's on the screen right now. Just fill out the member details. Once you're approved, you'll unlock the Discord and get in contact. Alrighty, well that will end it. I'll see you tomorrow for the SFR GT Challenge. Thanks again. Thanks for all the support, guys. And have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you soon. Hang on. I need to give you some music. Alright guys, have a good weekend. We'll see you later.